Well, g'day travellers, welcome back to the channel. Cheers, Saturday afternoon at the Tiki Bar. A little bit of Johnny Walker and Coke because I have run out of beer, and that is bloody typical of the week that it has been. So you might have noticed by the thumbnail, obviously some shit has gone down over in Facebook land, and some pretty big shit actually, because that's where we started, and that's where we had our biggest audience on our Facebook page. Over the last 6 to 7 years, I've built up a pretty solid community over there, and we had a lot of people, and that's primarily where we interacted with our audience. If you weren't watching us here on YouTube, or you weren't out on one of our trips, you were coming along for the ride on Facebook. And about a week ago, our Facebook page got hacked and they took over ownership of the page. Now, I have appealed to Meta, and Meta's basically come back with a politically correct big fuck you, and I have lost that page. And mate, that has been a really hard pill to swallow, because that was nearly 7 years of hard slog building content, creating memories, creating friendships, and it's all gone. The page is still there. We have no access to it. We just received a message from Facebook saying you have been full control of We Went That Away Adventures has been removed, and that is the be all and end all of it as far as Meta is concerned. That all that work is gone down the gurgler, and it left me with a hard decision to make, and that decision was, do I rebuild? Now, we still have the We Went That Away Adventures crew group on Facebook. That is still there, and that is still in our control. So if you do want to, I suppose, talk to us and interact with us on Facebook, that's where to do it now. But that crew group is only a fraction of what the page was. So yeah, so I had to sit down and really ask, where do we go from there? Because as I said, that was where our main community was. That's basically where we built the We Went That Way Adventures business, if you want to call it a business. Businesses normally make money. I don't know if I can call it a business, but that's where it all run from. So I thought really long and hard about where we're going in terms of We Went That Away Adventures, and I have made the really difficult decision not to rebuild. Now, what that means from a channel point of view is the YouTube channel's not going anywhere. It's going to stay there. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Is because I believe that content, because so much of that content was created with you guys, our We Went That Away Adventures crew, that content is as much yours as it is mine. So the YouTube channel is going to stay. I'm not going to start the We Went That Away Adventures page again. That is gone. As I said, it is still sitting there. I really don't understand the motives of why they hijack these pages, because they're not doing anything with it, or not doing anything with it at this stage. But we can't get onto it. So look, what I would say is, if you are a follower of the We Went That Away Adventures page, unfollow it. I don't care if it goes back to zero, it's not mine anymore. So I would say unfollow the page. Find the crew group. If you're not part of the crew group, come over and get onto the crew group. It's a private group, so you've got to answer a couple of questions. I'll approve you, no dramas. Let's make it all happen over there. But it does affect the YouTube channel, and it affects the YouTube channel in a way that I have decided to wind back what we do in terms of content. For a long time, I've pushed pretty hard to try and create We Went That Away Adventures into something, and I think I have succeeded to a certain degree. Like it certainly, we've become a great community, a great group of people. I have a heck of a lot of fun making the videos, but they are a lot of work. They do cost me a fair whack of money to make those episodes. And they're a good deal for other people. And what I mean by that is we went that away adventures over the last probably 5 years, made a lot of money for ARB. It continues to make some pretty good coin for my employer, DC 4x4, and I've got no problem with that because Danny at DC looks after me very, very well, and it is a two-way street. But in terms of what Nina and I get from it personally, in terms of return on our investment, reward for effort, particularly financially, it's pretty low, and it's not sustainable. And we do have, believe it or not, we do have a life outside of YouTube, and we went that away adventures, and we do have some goals, and to be constantly dipping our hand in our pocket to fund trips just for the purpose of creating content, it's probably not what we need to be doing. So we went that away adventures in terms of a YouTube channel and the crew group. That's going to stay where it is and what it is. The big changes on YouTube is I'm winding it back to where it all began. It began as a hobby where we just documented our trips. We went out with our mates, we had a bit of a good time, and we brought some cameras along. Somewhere along the line it morphed into something else, and I tried to build it into something that was sustainable, something that was entertaining, and something that was educational. And I think, I think we probably nailed the entertaining and to a certain degree the education. What we didn't nail was the sustainability. So it's really hard for me to say that because it is my baby, and it's very much become part of my identity, you could say. No, not, it has. It become my identity. I was Rob from We Went That Away Adventures. People recognise me on the street, they recognise the car, and that means that, yeah, it's reached people, and I know from a lot of the comments that our crew members have, I suppose, messaged us since this happened, and what they've told us in person when they've been away with it. It's made a difference to quite a few people, and that is really, really satisfying. So where to now? As I said, we will continue to make videos when there's a video to make. We're not going to go on trips for the purpose of making them, but if we're on trips, yeah, we might film them, we might not. And one of the, I suppose, one of the catch-22s of being a content creator is you get out, you do these cool things, and you go to these cool places, but you're never in the moment. You're never really experiencing the experience, if that makes sense, because your mind is on shooting the video, telling the story, getting the shot, and I think it does take away from just being there and living in the moment. So I'm looking forward to being able to go out and do some trips. And look, there will still be trips. Outback Odyssey in September. We've got 10 cars going on. That is still going to happen. And I'll more than likely bring the cameras along and we'll make something of that. But other than that, the content will come up willy-nilly. I hope you guys hang around, and I hope the guys that, yeah, I hope you all hit the subscribe button and just get behind us, and who knows where it may go down the track, but I don't think I will ever go back to trying to build it as something more than a hobby, more than a passion. For me right now, where I'm going, I've had another passion project, and completely unrelated to the four-wheel drive and adventure scene, that I've had simmering away in the background quietly for quite a while, and that's something that's very near and dear to my heart, and is going to take a lot of work to bring it into the world. So I've decided, and look, I'm not going to go into it. We Went That Away Adventures is not the place to promote what I'm doing next. And I'll be honest, what I'm doing next is, man, is probably going to be a couple of years in the building before it sees the light of day. Let me just say though, if you are one of us old dogs, you know, you're in your 50s, you faced a few hard times and you've had to rebuild, society will pretty much try and tell you it's too late, you missed the boat, bad luck. I'm working on something that's going to help those people, and I'm going to challenge the assumptions that just because you go tits up in your later years that there's no way out. But that's all I'm going to say on that. If you want to know more about it, I would say, look, just shoot me a friends request on Facebook. I'm not going to put much up. I'll put little snippets about things that I'm doing up on the crew group, but yeah, it's a four-wheel drive page. I want it to stay as a four-wheel drive page. If you want to see what I'm doing, just shoot me up on a friends request. Find me on Twitter, Rob_Larney. And there'll be some stuff on Facebook coming around the new venture. I'm very, very reluctant, a bit gun shy to build anything on Facebook of substance. But there will be websites, there will be other stuff coming. So, but that is a completely different adventure, and one that probably the majority of you guys aren't going to come on. But there may be some of you that just from the little inkling that I have given you on what is going on, maybe there's something in it for you. Shoot me a friend request and you'll see bits and pieces. I'll just go to say that there will be a Facebook page. It's not going to be my sole focus. There is a podcast coming. There will be another YouTube channel completely unrelated to this stuff. And then there will be some pretty cool online stuff that I have got to get my head around. I've got a massive learning gap between where I am, where I need to be to get this next venture off the road. But I said I wasn't going to speak about that, so that is enough of that. I just want to say, guys, thanks for all the messages, all the phone calls that I've had through the week since this shit has gone down. Thank you for the support. We Went That Away Adventures is not over. It's not dead and buried, but it is different to what it was, and that's where I'm going to leave it. So hard pill to swallow, but you know, stuff happens, and you've just got to sometimes you've got to take those lemonades life hands you, try to make a bit of lemonade and go on from there. So I don't know where we're going to see you guys next, because I don't know when I'm going to roll the cameras out on another We Went That Away Adventures. It won't be way down the road, but it ain't going to be next week. So anyway, guys, once again, thank you all for your support over the years. Thanks for getting on board the We Went That Away Adventures train, if you want to call it. And I hope we see you on the crew group on Facebook. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit subscribe. And you know, just give us a little bit of love when we do drop an episode. But other than that, I suppose we will catch you on the next episode of We Went That Away Adventures. I just don't know when that'll be. Cheers, guys.